Now, let's go to our very final issue, which has to do with the comments that came from the Lands and Natural Resources Minister to the effect that out of the 288 forest reserves that we have, a whopping 44 of these forest reserves are under serious attack by illegal mining. And people are very shocked that this is going on. There are those who say they are not shocked because in the Akufo-Addo regime, they allowed for mining in forest reserves, something that ought not have been allowed. So quickly, in the next 8 minutes, how do we deal with that? Yes, Kingsley. How do we win?
I don't think you'll come to me because that's the policy of some PR. So I want to deal with that. And then that's all.
So we have all been involved in this anti-Galamsey fight.
Right.
I'm sure I've heard you also. We need to fight it because it's an existential threat. So, what do you say? That forest reserves, 44 of them, we are losing to illegal mining.
I think the general public, were so vehemently opposed to mining in the forest reserve that even the law that was passed that made mining in the forest reserve legal, it was on its way out when there was a general government. And so this new government should action on that, remove it. But what I heard is not the legal, it says Galamsey, all right, or illegal miners, all right. We all know that there are legal miners and illegal miners. If it's illegal, then there's no legal basis whatsoever, okay? And so you need to take steps rather than bringing it to our attention. I think NDC needs to transition properly from being an opposition party to a party in government. When you are in opposition, you will highlight these and talk about it to create a necessary public aversion against us when we're in power. Now you are in governance. Deal with it, solve it. I'm also not happy about the, and these are information sent to me by your producer, but it says, President Mahama says, I don't like the word I urge, because you're in government now. Direct. And even before you direct, the people already are seized with executive power. They must take steps to deal with that. Because it's an illegality. Before we talk about how we will deal holistically with all these, existential threats to our water body, to our forestry, and there's several things. These are what I teach in class, natural resources. Before we talk about that, whether we're going to use command and control approach throughout, we're going to use negotiation and education approach, we're going to mix it. I am for command and control approach and then mixing it up with education, because South Africa, people were shot and it is still going on. I believe when President Rawlings started, it was the same. People were still coming to it. That's why they made sure that they now regulated it, the small-scale mining industry. And now I've been around those places where people have tasted, the sudden wealth that comes to those who engage it. And so it's going to be difficult to use only command and control approach. Okay? Once you're doing command and control approach, you must have some policies that say, this is how I'm going to deal with this. There's a lot, we lined up a lot in the presidential candidate of MPP in his manifesto. How we're going to do with this, create a bank for that, give them finances. I am sure there was something like that in the NDC manifesto. Now that you have the executive power, operationalize it. If we see that there's some aspect of it that probably we have to discuss it further, then we can talk about it. But now you're saying, do you know that? You want to see, I came to meet this, these are the steps I'm taking to solve it.
All right.
Because you have transitioned, or you should have transitioned by now, from opposition party to government.
Right.
Don't say I urge them to.
So because we don't have time, and I know, and I mean, the public will soon get to know that you have a certain background that you would have brought to bear.
Oh yeah, I've been teaching natural resources and all that for some time.
Right. And you heard the other time when I said that when we spoke about the matter of Galamsey and the forest reserve being eaten into, and we referred to one gentleman, a publication in the Fourth Estate, one gentleman, Francis, who is now in Parliament, that he was
Samson, please.
Who was helping the people to get their licenses.
Samson, this is wrong. Don't go there.
Why?
Don't go there. You cannot go there.
Why?
I'm just giving a background of how much information you have. When I was saying that you have sued,
you can say this off. You can't say that.
I've said it already.
It's not right. It is not right.
We are not talking about the case.
The fact that exists should not be said here.
It's public.
No, it's not public. It's not public yet. You are not making it public.
We're not talking about the content. I'm not talking about the content. Okay, thank you. Yes, quickly, we have just about, we have run out of time, really.
I'm very happy the MPP has taken it upon itself to teach the MPP and NDC how to transition. You see, we are dealing with a matter that has engaged our armed forces. We are dealing with a matter that a president promised his presidency and nothing happened.
Something happened. He was voted into power again.
We are running out of time. I'm sorry.
Can you then continue?
I'm sorry. In 30 seconds,
yes,
please.
30 seconds. What the minister said, he was just passing, and the pressman accosted him. And he said, oh, you know what? Since taking office, I have seen this problem. I mean, if you don't know the problem, how do you tackle it?
Right.
And I don't know why the MPP has taken, you should have done that, you should have done that. You bent excavators, you shot people, nothing happened.
Right. Let me give the final 30 seconds to Rodelin. Is it enough just to be telling us that 44 forests are gone?
Enough. I think we must do something about it. And I am with those who feel that we should call a state of emergency and let the military go in there.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Last week, there was a comment by Bryce Simmons about NACO. That's the Narcotics Control Commission. And the Narcotics Control Commission is not excited about the comment. And they are saying that it is not the case that they have not prosecuted even a single case in 3 years. That statement is not correct because they are prosecuting drug offenders and many other offenses every day. And many of these cases are held in open court. So people who want to know should go to the court. They will find out about them. And that the information was not accurate. And people should know that because they may not do it themselves directly, other prosecution people will do it. So it is not the case that is it. And that reminds me of the matter about the memo. That memo about the Attorney General and Godfrey Dame and Ayine going back and forth about it, really. Don't misconstrue and misquote me anywhere. What I said last week was that I have seen what is supposed to be the memo, and there's an email trail. The memo I saw, I asked Justice Ramsay, was not signed, it was not dated, and it was not minuted. There was no minute on it. So it does appear that was a draft memo. I understand that Godfrey Dame saw that particular memo very late in their term, but there is no official memo that came to him that he refused to act on. I did not say that Godfrey Dame bent or shredded any memos. I said that I had been informed that there was a shredding of documents and claims that some documents had also been taken home, away. Thank you very much. This has been Newsfile. It is your most authoritative news analysis platform. And here on Newsfile, as we always do, we put Ghana first.